Say what? We have another summit sneak peek happening today, right now, with James Allen. James, I am so excited that you're one of our session speakers, and I'm so excited that you're here with us today to give us a summit sneak peek. So thanks for hopping on.
Super pumped to be here and super honored to be a part of the Get Good at Business Summit.
Yeah, love it, love it. So for those of you watching, James is an online coach for coaches and content creators who want to have the automated and scalable income that frees up their time so they can ditch the hustle and grind. Originally a productivity coach, James was obsessed with how to work fewer hours while simultaneously growing his income. This led him to learn about creating passive income with digital products. As the founder of ProfitYourKnowledge.com, James has a passion for helping people turn their knowledge, ideas, and skills into automated income that not only gives them more money, but also more freedom and fulfillment. And James is one of our speakers for the Get Good at Business Summit that is happening May 16th and 17th, a virtual summit for entrepreneurs. And I have to say, I love all of our session topics, but James, your session has me super excited because you are teaching us how to create a six-figure podcast without a large audience.
Yeah. That's kind of like, that's something that really, I feel like attracts a lot of people over to what I'm doing. And when I say things, they're just like, how did you do that? Where I was, when I had a YouTube channel, I just recently got YouTube monetized, but I've been making thousands of dollars every month from YouTube since I had 200 subscribers. And even with my podcast, like that's one of my biggest revenue generators, even when I had a small audience. So it's like this way of being able to monetize with the small audience, because that's all I had, because I literally started from like ground zero. And yeah, just being able to help other people, even if they have a small audience, like it doesn't actually matter. It's about building the right relationships and all this kind of stuff and having good back end systems, and you can make some awesome money.
I love that. So obviously in your bio, you shared how you were a productivity coach. Now you're an online coach for coaches and content creators. What inspired you to start your podcast and YouTube that has now led you to be our expert speaker on creating a six-figure podcast without that large audience?
Yeah, so I actually started my podcast a really long time ago in the early stages, because I started from construction work, went into coaching, and I was a spiritual life coach. And then from there went into productivity. And that's where I learned about digital products and, automation and systems and stuff. And then I started helping people and they were making money, getting results. So I was like, this is what I really want to do. But yeah, I've been doing my podcast for a long time. It's probably been over 5 years, and it was just a lot of ebbs and flows and trying different things of doing solo episodes. I did guest episodes, like interviews. I tried sponsorships, affiliate programs, like pretty much everything under the sun. I even did daily solo episodes for a couple months, and my audience grew a little bit, but I wasn't really making any money. And then, I learned from some people that there's ways that you can leverage your podcast to, have like the right conversations with people and that kind of stuff. And it creates more opportunity. And it was all just about business relationships and building those kind of things. So I'm unpacking, in the training behind the scenes of how this all works and how you keep it natural and fun. But yeah, it's more from guests rather than just having a big audience, and because of that, my audience continues to grow over and over again.
I love that too, because I know that a lot of our attendees and a lot of business owners are in that space where they're like, I want to start this and I want to have it. I want every action I take to result in cash, but I don't have that large audience or that large following to. And I think for a lot of us in our brain, we think we don't have that large audience enough to compete with those other podcasts. And that's really from a scarcity mindset. But I have to say, I'm so excited. Like, I cannot say this enough. So excited about your upcoming session, because I think it's just going to be such a phenomenal resource to help our entrepreneurs get good at business without that large audience. And that helps them build their audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, take this summit, for example. How'd you and I meet? You were on
I
my
was a guest on your
podcast.
podcast.
And then we got to know each other. And now it's like I get to speak at the summit. And it's not just this one. I speak at a ton of summits, from building relationships with people. And then sometimes people work with me and stuff. But there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. It's not just having a podcast.
Right.
It's having the right kind of show, reaching out to the right people, knowing who you help. There's a lot of nuance that goes into it. And I've coached many people through this whole process to do it themselves, but you can be profitable literally from day one when you apply this strategy and then start, doing solo episodes and kind of add things in. So I'm going to talk about all that inside the summit. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I love that. And you mentioned you've worked with clients and helped them through this. So biggest thing about the Get Good at Business Summit is that it's not just theory, it's practical, tangible application from tactics and techniques, strategies that have actually worked. So share with us one of your client success stories from the techniques and the topics and the strategies that you will be sharing in your session.
Yeah, so there's been some people, and they haven't, there's been people who are more savvy with sales and some people who weren't really, but I've seen clients literally like in the first podcast interview booking, like filling their calendar with coaching calls where people are actually sitting down and doing enrollment calls with them. And even me, for example, in the when the first week of me doing this strategy, I made $4,000, and I was just like, it was like fighting for crumbs for a long time before that and stuff. And I was like, it was just inconsistent with clients. But yeah, first week enrolled someone who was a guest on my show. And I'm like, dude, what? And then I was like, that's probably just some one-off thing. Like, I don't know. So I kept doing it, and I was building relationships, and people started referring other business over to me, and I was on other people's shows, and then their audience heard about me. And then I had like an $8,000 day. So in the first month, it was like 12,000. And I was just like, dude, what the heck is happening? And it's been able to just stay consistent and grow from there. So, that was just like the biggest thing, I think, is that it just works. So
I love it. It just works. So you're going to want to make sure, those of you watching, that you come to the summit and watch James's presentation. And also, James has a special gift for those of you watching. If you go to summit.getgoodatbusiness.com and you go to register and get your tickets, if you put James's name, and you can just even put his first name, put James's name in when you go to register, you can get your tickets for free. And at that point, not only do you get to hear and participate in this virtual summit for entrepreneurs, and you get to learn from James, but you also get to learn from over 20 other expert speakers, all dedicated to helping you get good at business. So you want to go to summit.getgoodatbusiness.com, type in James's name when you register to get your tickets for free. And this, again, is a virtual summit, so you can join from the comfort of your home, the coffee shop, or wherever it makes sense on May 16th and 17th. So James, thanks so much for joining me here today and giving us this summit sneak peek. And those of you watching, James and I will see you at the summit on May 16th and 17th. Get your tickets at summit.getgoodatbusiness.com.